The landform made by a river has three stages. The first stage is called the um youth stage. The second stage is called the mature stage, and the third stage is called the old stage. So, in these three stages, water has very active in making the landforms. And alluvial fan is a cone-shaped deposit of sediment built up by streams. If a fan is developed or built up by the debris flow, it is probably called the debris cone. So this is one of the feature where we can see in the upper stage of the valley of the river where जो small stream है जब major stream में enter होती है तो it is actually one of the very important landform which can be seen in the upper stage of the river valley. So here we have a typical shape of the alluvial fan. So you can see this one is a cone shape feature. Actually is a minor stream which is actually coming from the highlands and it merge with the major stream areas. So is a typical landform found where canyon draining from mountainous terrain enter into the flatter plain. So is a small plain area, steep-sided, but this valley has a broader shaped. So is a U-shaped valley. So is found near the area where we have the broader shape of the valley. Now, pothole is one of the feature which is actually found in the upper course of the valley. And this feature can vary in width from a few centimeters to several meters. They are generally found in the upper or early middle stage of a river. The river valley giving more potential for downcutting, and the river bed is more likely to be rocky in nature. So this kind of feature is actually are cylindrical shaped which are actually in the form of holes drilled into the rocky bed of a river by high velocity water loaded with pebbles. The pebbles become trapped in slightly hollow and vertical eddies in the water are strong enough to allow the sediment to grind a hole into the rock be abraded. So when water has high volume, it is actually flowing from the northern area to the south of Pakistan. Like we have the best example of the Indus River. So this is one of the slide of the Indus River. So during its high volume, it has feature like this one over the bed of the river. So why? Because it carries small pebbles. So these pebbles are actually active within the hole and grind the sides of the hole. So this feature found over the bed of the river. Now this is one of the again feature of the upper course when water is coming from the upper to the middle course of the valley. So here we have the stages of the river, or we can see the steps of the valley. So these stairs or steps are used for the agriculture in the northern areas or in the hilly lands of the countries or in the hilly areas of the river valleys. Now this feature is called the rapids. Now they are found in upper stage of the valley. Rapids are sections of a river where the river bed has a relatively steep gradient causing an increase in water volume and velocity and turbulence. Rapids are hydrological features and are characterized by the river becoming shallower with more rock exposed above the flow surface. Here we can see the floor of the water or the river floor or bed. These are the actually the shallow area of the river valley where we can see the even the floor of the course of the river. So why? Because the rocks are very hard, so that's why water is flowing over the hard rocks. Now this is one of the best example of the upper stage of the valley where we have the example of the river Colorado, Grand Canyon in USA. The sides are very steep and water is flowing for the last so many years. Now this is an example of the Indus River running through the Kohistan Valley in Pakistan. So here you can see the U-shaped valley of the river. Even we can see the settlements at the side or bank of the river. Why? Because here we have gradual slope in the upper stage of the valley. So that's why water has less speed and less erosion. But when water is or river is entering from the upper course to the lower course of the valley, we have certain areas under meandering. So even we can see the meandering the upper course of the river. So this is a beautiful view of the Muzaffarabad where the Indus River is entering from the higher course to the lower course of the region. यहाँ ये बात बड़ी इम्पोर्टेंट है कि जब मिडिल स्टेज स्टार्ट होती है तो उसमें रिवर अपनी स्पीड कम कर देता है. सो स्लोली एंड स्टेडली यू कैन सी द रिवर इज मूविंग टुवर्ड द मियंडरिंग. सो व्हाई? बिकॉज उसके रास्ते में जो भी हार्ड रॉक आती है तो वो अपना रास्ता बदल देता है. सो दैट्स व्हाई वी हैव मियंडरिंग इन द रिवर कोर्स. A meander is a bend in a water course or river. A meander forms when moving water in a stream erode the outer banks and widen its valley. The inner part of the river has less energy and deposit silt. When a meander gets cut off the main stream, an oxbow lake forms. Over time, meanders migrate downstream, sometimes create problem for the local communities. An oxbow lake is a U-shaped valley or U-shaped body of water that forms when a wide meander from the main stem of a river is cut off, creating a free-standing body of water. This landform is so named for its distinctive curved shaped resembling the bowpin of an oxbow. So here we have the course of the river, and most of the cutting is toward the area where water is acting the wall of the valley. So this is the most active area where we have the cutting of the sides of the valley. But this region actually has the deposition, so most of the silt deposits are there. So here you can see the oxbow lake, which is actually in the form of जिसे हम उर्दू में नालनुमा झील भी कहते हैं. सो दिस इज़ एक्चुअली ऑक्सबो लेक. अब इसमें वाटर जब फ्लो कर रहा है तो उसकी जब उसमें वॉल्यूम ऑफ वाटर राइज करेगा तो वो इस साइड को काटता हुआ आगे निकल जाएगा. सो दैट्स वाई दिस इज़ वन ऑफ द एरिया ऑफ द लैंड फॉर्म मेड बाय द रिवर ड्यूरिंग इट्स मिडल कोर्स. Now floodplains are large flat expanses of land that forms on either side of a river. The floodplain is the area that a river experiencing high discharge, the load is deposited across the floodplain as alluvium. The alluvium is very fertile, so floodplains are often used as a farmlands. So this is the middle stage of the river, the whole stage, and the sides are gradual in slope, and which are called the bluffs. These are the bluffs of the valley, and all the area which is actually under the river course is called the active floodplain. This is active floodplain, and during the high volume of water, even in the summer season, it has covered with water. So जब दरिया में पानी ज़्यादा होता है तो वो अपने किनारों से बाहर निकलता है, और फ्लड उन दिनों में ज़्यादा हम देखते हैं जब उसमें पानी की मिकदार बढ़ जाती है. तो अपने वो एक्चुअल बेड से, जो एक्चुअल कोर्स ऑफ द रिवर है, उससे वो बाहर की तरफ फ्लो करता है, और बार बार बाहर आने से, पानी के बाहर आने से हमें उसके कुदरती एक पुश्ते नज़र आते हैं जिसे हम नेचुरल लीवीज कहते हैं. सो वी हैव दीज नेचुरल लीवीज विच आर मेड ड्यूरिंग द हाई volume of water during the even summer season when we have the ice melting or rainfall in the upper stage of the river.